It's heavy.
That's a coordinator. You got a busted play here, and then Sanchez gets hit. The ball is loose.
So look at the fumble right here, and it's picked up on the bounce, and there he goes.
Welcome back to the Fumbling the Bag podcast. This is the Week 3 Picks Against the Spread show. I'm here with Dre as always.
What's up, y'all?
Ain't nothing new here. You know what the game is. We're picking spreads for the NFL games for the upcoming week. It is early in the week, so lines will change. Some of our picks will change. We actually had a really good week, man. We both came out winners, which I was really nervous about, and I had the best week I think I've ever had. So
Excellent, man. We got to keep it moving, got to keep it going, keep the ball rolling, and just select these games one by one. You just got to look at everything and just make a good move, make a good play.
Yeah, just make the smart move too, because that was kind of last week when I kept saying like there's so many trap games here, but like you have to play it as smart as possible. And sometimes like your intuition is just dead wrong because you see a line like Pittsburgh +1 and like the common man is like, yeah, I'm putting money on that.
Right.
And then, they wonder why they're broke. We've been doing this, so we're going to try and give you better picks than last week, and we did very well. Like,
yeah.
It was a great fucking week. And I told you about that fucking Chargers team too. They're covering that 4 on some bullshit.
They did, man. That was the back door. But I should have known, you know what I mean? Like, and plus, the stats state that both teams play each other tough. Every time they play, it's a close game. And I should have took that into consideration. And I look like a fucking peon, but I'm bouncing back.
You got to think, though, a couple of those games, like, they just were so wacky. Look at Arizona. Like, those people were counting their money early. I'm sure people, like, in the Cleveland game were, too. And what was the other fucking... Oh, yeah, Miami, yeah. Well,
yeah.
We won't recap that. That's for you to watch on ESPN or whatever. We will get right to it. This first game of the week, I think, is a giant trap once again for bettors. It is Pittsburgh at Cleveland. You have a huge amount of money going on the underdog. Myles Garrett is questionable. I lean Cleveland here just because I just think it's the right play. I think a public dog is just bad news. What do you think about this?
I think that Mitch Trubisky is still the Pittsburgh's quarterback.
Yeah, he sucks.
He really sucks, man. TJ Watt still out.
Is he out all year, right? Torn pec?
I don't think he's out all year. I think he's coming back at some point in time, but I don't think anytime soon, though. Mm-hmm. Cleveland's defense is really still tough. They on the ground, they're only allowing 73.5 yards for the season.
Yeah, that's because Flacco was airing that bitch out, though.
True indeed.
But then again, they did face McCaffrey, which everyone deems as a great back.
Exactly, yes. So I just think Cleveland's going to get it done. They're mad because how they lost the game, the last game they played.
Yeah.
You got to finish that game. So I think they're coming for vengeance, whoever is in the way. I just think they're a better team too. I'm taking Cleveland at home too.
Yeah, I just on a short week too, these games are pretty wacky. Like it could be a shootout. I mean, divisional matchups close, but I will be betting Cleveland tomorrow. I have no problem with that, like whatsoever.
I got that too.
And then of course we always got to go to the hometown team, even though I don't think we're kind of fans. It's Detroit.
Quasi fan.
Yeah, I don't mind the Lions. I just don't have an allegiance like I used to. It's the Lions at the Vikes. Everyone's, another public dog. People are jumping on the Lions early. This opened at 7, went to 6. Advanced lines also. They're kind of a test because here's the thing about them. Not that many people get that number right away. Like it's almost, I like talking about it because I'm interested in seeing how books set it, but only a small fraction, maybe 5% of these people are getting that number, at even money or whatever. And for this week, I like the Vikings to come back. I think the Lions are just a little hyped up. The defense is still pretty trash, and the Vikings are probably going to come with a vengeance, and it could be close though. It's these divisional weeks that you'll see a lot of divisional games this week. What do you think about this?
And that's one of the reasons that I chose the Lions to cover. I don't have them winning.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now I got it at 5.5 plus 5.5. That's going to fluctuate.
The death number. Yeah.
If it goes 7, I'm out the game. I'll let y'all know. Just follow my Twitter.
Yeah,
my
right.
tweets.
Yeah. We didn't even talk about that. Yeah, once again, all my picks at Little Dick Big Rich. I'm not putting any graphics up this week. I've been doing other shit. So you get the picks. That's what you get. I was 13-3 last week. You probably weren't. So
tell them how you really feel.
Just saying. So we're gonna keep trying to roll with that. I'll get some graphics up next week. I promise.
Yes, indeed. I don't know. Another thing about Detroit is they're starting to look like offensive juggernauts, so to speak. I mean, they're averaging what, 30, 35, 36 a game?
They average like second most. But it's through two games, and you played fucking Washington. Yeah. Washington's secondary looked a little lost, and then the second half of that Eagles game, they kind of let up. I wouldn't even say they let up, but I mean, they crawled back into it, fought. But that's the same shit that happened week 1 last year.
Yes, that's true. But I don't know. It's just something about the Lions this year that, causes me to look up a little bit more. Like, okay, these things are a little different. This is the problem that I have, though. Kirk Cousins is going to play better.
It is,
home.
yeah. It's a Sunday 1 p.m. game. He's
exactly.
fine. He's so fine. Justin Jefferson didn't cook. He had 56 yards. Yes. So I think he's going to get a lot more play.
He's going to be a problem for the Lions.
And we both know that. Lions secondary is weak, and also their just defense is very weak. They're going to rank in basically the bottom of most defensive stats through the year. I hate to get my words fucked up, but here we are.
No, you're right. I also think Minnesota's defense is really good. However, though, I think pound for pound offensively, I think Detroit can match up with these guys as far as offensively.
And I wouldn't say you're
7-7,
wrong.
14-14, 20. It might be a high-scoring game. May come down to maybe a field goal, or they score a field goal to their touchdown. But I don't think it's going to be a less than a 6-point game. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's fair to assume. Like anyone would assume. I seen the Vikings on that Monday night game. They had 4 drives that were within field goal range, and they didn't score a single point. So how many points did they leave off the board that they could have really competed in that game? I see them being back at home too. Playing in a team, playing on the road for a team's opening game is just tough in general. And this is a team they historically have beat up on here and there. And I mean, it's not the same old Lions, but I just like the Vikings 6. Let's move on to another game. This one I really like because I know a lot of Mahomes money is going to go there again. A lot of people are just going to keep betting the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs. I'm not saying I don't. I actually really like them. I had that as my AFC Championship game, I believe, is Bills-Chiefs. I think they win this game. Indianapolis isn't that bad. The offensive line has played like shit. They'll play better. The defense hasn't played well. They'll play better. We get Pittman back, too. I think he actually does make an impact in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Give me 6.5 to 7 on Indianapolis. I mean, I think you'll be able to catch a better number at the end of the week, too. What do you think about the hometown boys?
Pittman is going to help Matty Ice. And Naptown is, that's the state that I'm from, Indiana. Not Indianapolis, though, but Indiana. I'm from Indiana. And I got love for the Colts. I really do. I think it's bounce back time for them. They'll play better because they're at home, I think.
It's their home opener, I believe, too.
Yeah, it's a home opener. They have problems with Jacksonville, too. People don't understand the history behind that.
Yeah.
Jacksonville always has their number. So they're going to play rough against
when you
Jacksonville.
See a +4, like if it was like -7, you might have thought something's up. But when you see like fucking 4, you're like... and people are pulling that trigger out. Like casual bettors pull the trigger automatically on that stuff. You just really have to like assess it for what it is. I believe that was the Jags home opener too, because they played Washington week 1.
True.
And they should have won that game too. They actually don't look that bad this year. So
yeah,
something to think about.
You're absolutely right. Not saying the Colts will win, but I think the Colts will keep it within 6.5. Come on.
Yeah, they have to in their home. Like, they cannot keep playing this bad. Or Frank Reich's, Reich is fired. Ryan's, getting hung in the gallows.
Yeah. I think the offensive line will play better too.
Yeah.
Because they have a little bit of home cooking. They know they got to get on track now.
They have to.
Absolute must.
If they start 0-2-1, I mean, they're in a pretty shit division where, it's the Titans don't look that great. Jacksonville's 1-1. Texans are garbage too. I don't care how well. They've been playing well, don't get me wrong, but they're not like a good team by any means.
Right.
So even if they lost this game, it wouldn't be the end for them, but it would not. It wouldn't be a great outlook.
Good, but they have to get some type of confidence about them, so they have to play better.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they'll cover.
Yeah, I think
do.
the swag's coming back. Mahomes is 5-5 as a road dog, favored by more than 7 points. Is something a little tidbit I heard today too. So he's not automatic on the road either. So
Oh no.
these guys are only human too, and it's any given day. So we'll move on from that. Let's move to my shit team I like to watch, the Washington Commanders hosting Philadelphia. They are getting 6.5. I've seen 7s here and there. Man, this one fucking hurts because, like, obviously I want to bet Washington. Those are my guys. They played like shit in that first half of that Lions game. That really let the game go for them.
Right.
Philly beats the fuck out of them every single year. I always watch. This is one of the games I do watch every year. Like my TV, I don't know where I'll be Sunday. I might be with the boys, but believe me, Washington, Philly will be on a screen, and Buffalo, Miami will be on the other. So I like Philly 6.5, and I know that's a square play. What do you believe?
I concur. I just think Hurts is too much. I think the Commanders are outmatched. It's Philly is somewhat in the category for me as the Bills. I'm gonna keep riding them until they don't cover a spread.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just I've seen enough of this team. I've seen them. I saw them live. In person the first game. And they didn't even really play as well as they could. They didn't play that well second half.
Yeah.
But Hurts is just too much, man. And they just have too many weapons. Hurts was airing the ball out, too, Monday.
He's starting to throw that thing a little better. I think
It looks
people
better.
should, and people were talking all that shit last year, like bench him. And it's, it's just talk. But this kid is good.
He's good.
And could you imagine if it was Buffalo, Philly, Super Bowl? You know how fucked up that would be? The world there might be a black hole that, like, sucks us all in because people are just getting way too fucking drunk.
I know, right? That would be a great matchup, man. And I couldn't tell you who would win that matchup, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I would lean Buffalo, but
Philly?
Hurts is a problem. I keep telling people that.
And that's the thing, like, containing him, like
Yes.
the Lions were getting a good pass rush on him, but they
Yeah.
couldn't contain him. That was the real problem for week 1 for them. And then even last week, or just Monday, same thing kind of fucking happened with the Vikings.
Same problem.
They
And the
ran-
Vikings have a better defense than Detroit does as well.
Yeah, and it was the same pretty much outcome. And
Yeah.
so we're both Philly here, and
Philly it is.
I'm good with that. That's one of my square plays, along with the next game I just forementioned is Buffalo. It's at -6 now. You might be able to get a slightly better number or slightly worse number as the week goes on, because I think a lot of people are going to bet this game. And I'm right there with them. I'm officially on the Buffalo train. I'm sorry for cashing out all those parlays, Buffalo, this week. I rather take my money, though. It was a lot of money. To me, it's a lot of money. To others, maybe not so much. But I got to take my automatic wins when I see 7 parlays hanging all on the 6th leg. I'm just taking the win.
I don't blame you. I got Buffalo too, man. I mean, Buffalo is hot right now. They look like the best team in the NFL, or at least, in the AFC. What more can I say about Buffalo? Quarterback is nice. Receiver is nice. Defense is nice. Coach is making the right moves.
He's okay. Yeah, he's doing okay. I got some gripes with McDermott.
Oh, I
but
thought that was your boy. You
he's
got some
okay. Rivera's my guy.
Okay,
Washington.
okay.
You know my Washington
Rivera,
love.
okay.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's a good coach. Even though he made some bonehead fucking decisions in Detroit, like let's go for 2. But those are my guys. The Bills are they look unstoppable. And like I told you right before the show, shout out to Roy for that one. The Bills have won 20 in a row. When they win by 10 plus points. So -6, I don't care. It can be -9.5 for all I care. These guys go into Miami each and every year, pretty much destroy these guys. I know there's a little bit of a worry at cornerback with Dane Jackson basically having a
Right.
spine fucking broken, but he's all right.
He seems to be okay. I don't know when he's coming back though, but
Yeah.
you know.
But you got Elam and what the fuck? The other rookie corner. They're not that bad. And then obviously, like, I think they won't get, like, people think they're going to get burned up at the top, but you got Poyer and Hyde, and those guys are 2 all-pro safeties. Like,
yeah.
they will hold it down. They might let up the short stuff, but I think, once again, that offensive line for Miami is still weak. I think they got away with one in Baltimore because Baltimore, as we will talk about, they're a banged-up squad again.
Again, man.
And
They have the worst luck.
Yeah, and that's a team I really like too, but they are really banged up and vulnerable right now. So, yeah,
Okay.
Buffalo all day. Let's go Bills.
Let's go Bills.
I could see them starting like 7-1 too. Honestly, I think like one of their only losses will be the Chiefs, and everyone will start talking shit again. Like, oh, they can't beat Mahomes.
Exactly.
See you in the playoffs. Let's talk about a real shit show game. We got the reeling Cincinnati Bengals at the Jets. They're favored by 5. You still got Joe Flacco in there. You can take the wheel on this because like I just lean Cincinnati automatically, and I was on the Jets last week.
Yes, you were.
I was texting you when that game was happening. I'm like, the fucking Jets are gonna do it.
The Jets did it, man.
Oh, I was fucked up. That was real fucked up.
Jets. You know what? I got the Bengals. I think Bengals will.
Yeah,
they'll come back to life in this game because they know that they haven't played well the last 2 games. Burrows can play better. I'm sorry, he just can't.
The offensive line needs to play better. It's not Burrow.
Yes, you're
like
right.
Burrow is staying
Burrow's
comfortable in the pocket, but he's getting sacked 6-7 times a game. That's unacceptable. But he's also played some of the best pass rushers in the game so far.
He has, yeah. The
So,
last 2 games, yeah.
Let's think. He played Dallas. Who they got on the D-line? That's a problem. It's not Diggs. Micah Parsons is a problem.
Parsons is a problem, and he showed why he's a problem.
Yeah.
He gets after the quarterback too.
And
no
then
matter
week
what.
1 they played Watt. I mean, before he got hurt, he was a problem.
He was a
on
problem,
the field.
yeah.
And Hayward too. Like those guys are problems on the field. The Jets, one of their strengths actually is their defensive line, but they ain't facing no bona fide studs on that line. So
Right, that's true.
I just think just keep Joe Burrow like in the shotgun the whole game. Like I don't know what to tell you because they're getting to this line. It doesn't even matter who's playing. Like the coaching for it's shit, but I could see the Jets letting up here and getting up one.
Well, they got away with one last week, and that was an emotional win. Flacco is still the quarterback too. I mean, it's just the way I see this matchup is I think the Bengals will play better. They know they must win this game. This is a must win for them, honestly. I think they're going to play hard. I think the offensive line is going to play better. I just think they're going to win this game.
I don't think the offensive line will play better. But no, I don't.
Well, they can't replace anybody now, but I think they'll play with more energy. I'll say that.
Yeah, I am interested in Sauce versus Chase, though. I don't know if I'll really have eyes on it, but yeah, money on Cincinnati there. I have no problem there. Me and you are pretty much square through the whole thing besides the Lions-Vikings. Let's see if that changes here with Baltimore-New England.
Ooh.
And this is one, once again, I told you guys last week, when you see a line like this, think twice. Baltimore is a 2.5-point favorite on the road at New England. New England, is one of those just pesky teams. They don't have much star power on their team, but man, they're well coached. Is this also their home opener? Because they played in Miami and they played in Pittsburgh. It's their home opener.
Yes,
and I think it's I think it's the sharp play, but I think it's the right play to play New England here. Tell me why Baltimore could be the play for you, or is.
One stat that I have: Ravens are 4-0 ATS in last 4 after a loss.
Okay.
Second is this is Mac Jones' first time meeting Baltimore. So, sometimes that comes into play. He may be nervous. Who knows? I think Lamar Jackson is going to be a problem for New England. However, I get the Bill Belichick angle. I know he's a great coach and he prepares for games like these, really prepares for them. But I got a funny feeling that the Ravens are just going to beat these guys. I don't think New England has enough offense either.
Yeah, it's going to be a bloodbath in the trenches is really what I think. I mean, I know like the secondary on Baltimore is really weak too, man. I want to say all their starters are basically injured. Didn't even Kyle Hamilton get hurt too? Like the whole secondary's injured, and
again, just like last season.
Yeah,
man.
New England. I mean, they ain't gonna like bomb 300 yards worth of passing on you, but I think they just can fucking dink and dunk on you and get away with guys. They always have a stronger offensive line too. Ramondre Stevenson and Harris will probably play very well. I see it, like I said, I could see it going either way. I just lean New England at the moment. And
well, one other thing too.
I do like the 4-0 though.
I think the Ravens, if the Ravens want to be a top tier team in the NFL, they have to win games like this. And they not only have to win, they need to cover the spread. Just to make themselves feel good about themselves.
Yeah, I don't think teams really think about that, but I mean, they blew a 21-point lead. Like that's unacceptable. Like in any league, I mean, Belichick probably has never done that. Like literally, I don't think he's ever done something like that. Like at that point, you're playing super conservative. I mean, your defense too. How are you getting the top fucking just taken off of you by Hill and Waddle like that? Just play covered, 2-man deep.
It was embarrassing. That's why they need to redeem themselves, and in a big way against the Patriots.
Yeah, and like none of that loss is like Lamar's fault either. It's just it's the team I'm very worried about at the moment. Let's move on because time. I mean, we're actually good on time, but I don't have all the stats or anything today. Your boy was a little poo-pooed on Monday, and this weekend I was just kind of busy. I didn't
Too much winning. That's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like I said, I wasn't really sure I was going to win that much, so I'm happy to start the year up. Things could change. I could lose the next 10 weeks in a row, and I accept that fate. But I have to hit a super lock. Please, need to hit one super lock. Like, because then if my parlays fail, at least I break even. Like, that's how I play it. It's like, well, if my lock fails, I've been depending on the lock to hit, and
right.
Hasn't hit 2 weeks in a row. Maybe this week it will. This one definitely won't be the super lock pick. We'll go over this briefly. 0-2 Vegas at 0-2 Tennessee. Tennessee is a 2-point dog at home.
At home.
I hate this game. If you had to put a gun to my head, I would say take Vegas. I just have no real intentions on betting Tennessee this year after what I just seen on Monday. They look like shit, man. I think Malik Willis should be the QB soon.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. But you know what? I'm taking the Titans. I think Titans will play better. This is another stat for you guys. Titans are 4-1 ATS following loss in last 5 games. Vrabel, I think, will find a way to get these boys going. The offense, I mean, at the least, the running game has to be better. The offensive line has to play better.
Yeah.
In order for them to be competitive in any games, really.
I think with Taylor Lewan out, people know who he is, but and that's the thing. It's the name value of the line. It's like he's a name. I know he had some very unfortunate news about like you know about his college story too, right?
I do.
Yeah, real piece of work he is.
He really is.
Won't have anything more to say than that. Then go green. We don't breed players like that. Anyways, I think the offensive line has to, like you said, they have to play better. Henry, 25 yards against Buffalo is unacceptable. Even though he did score a tutty,
Well, Buffalo has a tough defense though too. But I mean, you got to play better than that.
You have to at least try. And I think really without Brown. And who else left that
That's
fucking
starting
squad?
to show. It's starting to show.
It's starting to show. I mean, Robert Woods is serviceable, but he's not A.J. Brown.
Yeah. Well, one thing about the Raiders, though, I still don't know what this team is yet.
They blew a 20-point lead. You kind of
Yeah.
know what they are. Like,
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's the beginning of the season. You know, I'm trying to give them time, but for some reason, I just think the Titans probably win this by a field goal. I got them at plus 2.5.
2.5?
Okay.
I had 2, yeah. I
2,
mean,
okay, yeah.
I think it'll fluctuate through the like all these games usually do. And if I have any real advice for anyone, don't wait till like Sunday at like noon to make your bets. That's just
Right.
get them in early, or at least get them in by like Saturday afternoon. I usually try and post my picks by then or late at night. Like I'll be drinking making parlays, honestly. Like that it's so stressful. I'm sitting there just like, I showed you how I do it. I'm just like weighing things out. It's really tough for me sometimes.
Well, another thing too, guys, is find the best lines too, and don't wait the last minute like you said, but find the best lines, man. It's a lot of apps out there where they just
Odds,
2.5. Might mess around to get a 1.5. You just got to shop.
Yeah, I like Odds Checker for that a lot. I'm not gonna tell you which books to play at, but Odds Checker is just a good website to go to, and it will show you like just put in the game. Like I do it for golf a lot because like when I bet golf, I want like the difference between plus 8,000 and plus 12,000 is valuable, especially
Very
if
valuable.
I'm looking for like a deep sleeper in a tournament.
Right.
And you should just be cognizant of that because like once these injury reports come out, people start to panic too, and most of the time
Yes.
it really doesn't affect the game. And we'll just leave that at that. Just be smart, with your money. Don't bet the fucking house on stupid shit. And believe me, sometimes your favorite team will lose like 7 times in a row, and you'll be like, why? Asking why.
So true.
Let's go to a shit game. I don't have much to say on it. I don't really know much. Like, this is like a game I don't think anyone will be watching unless you're a fan of either team or betting it. It's Houston-Chicago. I like Houston 3+3. They've been playing teams really tough.
I got the Bears. I got them.
Hey, you picked one different. Did you pick
Yes.
Tennessee there too?
I picked Tennessee.
Okay, cool. Just want to make
Yeah.
sure I wrote that down.
I'm basing it on the Bears being at home. I think the Bears running game should do something. That's all they have, really.
Fucking all they have, man.
yeah.
They can't throw.
I mean, these are two of the worst teams offensively, so this is like a toss up for me. But I'm just going by them being at home. That's all I got. But I do have a lock for this game. I'm taking the under 40.5. I got it at 40.5 for the game. These teams, like I said, the two worst offensive teams right now. So
Yeah, these teams can't score, and both their defenses actually have played pretty well. Like
yeah.
Houston played pretty well against. Like, yeah, they got gashed for like 500 yards against Indy, but how many points they give up? 20. And then last week or Sunday against Denver, they only gave up 16. Even though some of that's that coaching. We'll talk about it. He's a joke, but. We'll see. You can see right there what the theme of the show is today.
And for you fans of this show, Fumble in the Bag, I used to be a big time Bears fan. Okay, used to. I still got love for them because they're kind of close to my hometown.
Yeah, they're not I don't hate the Bears. That's the
don't
thing.
hate 'em
It's like
at all.
like I hate the Packers, like for Brett Favre and how fucking shitty he is for
Stealing welfare money.
stealing welfare money and all the sexual shit he's done. That he's a fucking weirdo. Fuck
He
him.
really is, man.
Good old gunslinger. He only won one title, just like Rodgers.
Right.
But the Bears, I always when I watch football, I know people that just, and this is how times have changed. People love scoring and people love offense. I like a game that's 10-10 in the fourth quarter. I think it just shows defensive will and good scheming and
Yes.
that kind of stuff. It doesn't happen as much these days. And those Bears teams from even maybe 10 years ago with Urlacher,
Yeah.
those were good fucking defensive teams. They took fucking Rex Grossman to a Super Bowl.
Right.
And,
right.
and that
Good point.
And that is still their mantra is they want to play tough defense. Roquan Smith is putting up Urlacher, Patrick Willis type numbers in his third year, I believe now. He's really good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a reason that they call it the black and blue division too, because it is, it's based primarily off of defense. I mean, you got your Detroits, but you know what I mean? But this black and blue division, I mean, they defend. And the Bears, ever since the Super Bowl shuffles, they've put their hat on defense. Even during the Dick Butkus years, they weren't all that great, but they still played solid.
Yeah,
defense.
they still played good. So,
Yes.
Yeah, so we've had a difference of opinions here, and I know that continues here for this next game. New Orleans at Carolina. Jameis Winston, pain. All I gotta say is pain. A lot of pain. I had him as like my super lock last week, and I ended up switching it to Denver. Both were losers, by the way. I'm trying to fix that, but I got one for you here. Carolina +3 at home. I love the number. I think it's, you see a number like this and you think it should automatically be New Orleans -6, -7. There's a reason it's at 3. They want people to bet New Orleans. They're confident that the +3 will cover a divisional matchup. You still might be without Kamara this week too. And like I said, Jameis Winston, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
Well, something's been wrong with Jameis for the last 8 years. He throws too many interceptions.
Yeah, he was forcing that thing too on Sunday.
Man.
And I mean, they were in that game the whole time. Defense played well. A couple bad picks, the fumble by Olave. Like, they could have covered that game very easily.
They very much could have and should have. For me, I'm going Saints. I just don't trust the Panthers. I just don't trust Baker Mayfield. I know they're at home. I know they're 0-2 and a desperate team right now, but I think the Saints defense travels. Okay, so I think they will be able to stop the Panthers enough to cover that spread at least. Kamara is questionable. I'm hoping that he plays, but I don't know if that makes a difference anyway.
Yeah, running backs, my
Yeah.
feelings, but he might impact it by a point or two. I do have a good stat for you though. I seen this one like right before the show. It's really bad.
Lay it on me.
Man, it's really bad. It's Matt Rule is 1-24 when allowing 17+ points.
Ooh, okay, all they need to score is 17 then.
Yeah, that's all you got to know about that team.
My main thing is the Saints defense, though. I think the Saints
they're
defense
excellent.
can stop them, from scoring a whole bunch of points and at least get some points on the scoreboard themselves.
Yeah.
If Jameis plays halfway decent, I think they can cover this spread.
And that's what you're betting on for this game. I can't back a guy that, with the next game, obviously you'll see, but I just don't feel comfortable backing someone that we know is playing injured. That's something that terrifies me, because if he goes out, they really don't have a second QB. Taysom Hill, he's okay, but even the difference between Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston is massive. And then if Hill somehow gets hurt, it's Ian Book time. And actually, no, I think they have Trevor Siemian. Yeah, it's
Siemian?
Trevor Siemian's.
Okay.
That might actually be their QB too, is Siemian, and that's trouble. That's just trouble waiting to happen.
Ian Book is my boy because he's a Notre Dame guy, Notre Dame quarterback.
Notre Dame quarterbacks don't win in the league, you know that.
No, not since what? Montana, probably.
It's been it's like 0-30.
I think
Something silly. Like, I remember seeing
been
that last
crazy.
year because they played Miami that Monday night game with him, and they got fucking smoked.
They got smoked, man.
It's like 30-0.
I'm going Saints though. I'm gonna go Saints.
Fair. And then, going from a guy who's hurt that I won't bet to a guy that's hurt I will bet. I love the Chargers -7. The line really hasn't budged. I understand. Just said I won't bet a guy who's hurt, but I feel like what I seen Thursday night. So we got something I like a lot about teams that play on Thursdays is they get that extra rest. I believe Herbert's got that extra rest. They really haven't detailed too much about how he's playing, or I don't think he's even really practiced. He probably will practice Friday. I would assume he just might go through walkthroughs and some drills tomorrow, but. Just the talent difference, and that defense is very good. I was questioning it at the beginning of the season, and now I've seen them play twice. I think they're the real deal. lay the 7 with the Chargers. It might be a real square dummy pick, but I'm in on that one. I think they're gonna blow these guys out.
I got Jacksonville.
Oh,
See, the biggest
Shit.
thing for me is, I mean, we're still unsure if Herbert is going to play. If he doesn't play,
they said he's pretty much going to. Like,
He's a go?
it's pretty much all but confirmed. So I think he's gonna be in there. I don't. Obviously, the books have to protect themselves by posting a line like that.
of course, yes. I just think, Jacksonville is just a much more competitive team. They are I'm gonna tell you what Jacksonville is. They're the Detroit Lions of last season.
Fair. I got a
they
team.
cover
I got
spreads.
I got a team soon that I think is the new Lions from last year. But I can't I can agree with you there. I think they're gonna be a pesky team. Like, they hung in there with Washington. They played their ass off last week too. I mean, that was one of the most dominant performances of the week. But we already knew. Me and you talked about this. They
the
give
Colts.
problems.
With the Colts, man. It's just something about this team. I know they're young and they're still learning, but I think it may be just a difference in coaching. It just seems. I mean, I love Urban Meyer too for a little bit.
I heard
liked
he
him
might
in
go to.
college.
Yeah, I heard he might go to Nebraska. Fun fact.
Ooh,
Isn't that
That would
interesting?
be interesting.
Yeah.
He'd bring that Nebraska back to prominence.
God.
No matter how he does it,
God.
I think he would do it.
No, he would. He brings in great recruits, but he was not fit
man.
to be an NFL coach.
Nah, he's not ready. He'll never be ready for that.
Was it Doug Peterson?
Yeah.
He won a Super Bowl. Like, he's been there.
He's been
with
there.
shit talent too.
Right.
Like,
And this is what I'm saying.
And this team has budding talent. Like,
Oh yeah.
I really like Josh Allen on that defensive line.
Love him. Love them. They got a couple of sleepers on that team.
Yeah, Trayvon Walker too, who they drafted, played very well. He was the first rookie ever to have like a fumble or a pick and a fumble recovery in his first game. One of the first guys ever to do that. So
that's a good stat.
That's pretty remarkable.
I'm going with Jacksonville. Call me. I'm drinking some of the Jacksonville Kool-Aid right now. Not to say that I doubt that they even are a 500 team this season, but they're going to play teams tough. And they're going to play good teams tough, too. I truly believe that.
I think so, too. I think, Lawrence will air it out. But I just think in this instance, people are probably a little weary of betting Herbert after, seeing last week. But the man put the team on his back to cover. And I got to back a guy who won me some money last week. I mean, I'm just going to blindly do that. So.
I'm turning my back on him.
For now.
For now.
All right, pardon me. Let's move along to probably the biggest question mark game. These are all question mark games really for me, but it's Green Bay, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has, Godwin's still out. Evans is suspended after the Lattimore thing. They had to sign my guy, Cole Beasley, the rapper.
Yes.
And they got fucking Julio Jones as their wide receiver 1 with Kyle Rudolph, I think, sitting out there still. My first initial thought, like, I've been flip-flopping on this. It was like, oh, it's a Green Bay auto bet. They're going to play good. And then I thought about it, I'm like, well, Aaron Rodgers doesn't play well in Florida.
Right.
Like, he just historically never plays well there. I don't know why. But then, I was like, oh, Tampa. But then I thought about it again. I'm just like, I think those weapons, like, for Brady, that's a difference maker. And I really, I know it's a square side again. This line's moving more in the Green Bay direction, but I think Green Bay is going to show them what they're about this week. They can't start 1-2 in a competitive division.
Yeah, I've toiled with this this pick. I like the Packers too. It's just I hate to
bet against Tom
on,
Brady.
Yeah, you hate to bet against him, and the way they looked last. Even though they won the game. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. New Orleans could have won that game very well, too.
And I think, Tampa Bay hasn't been that impressive. At least, Green Bay was a little bit impressive against the Bears. Yeah, I know the Bears aren't great, but they beat the Niners. People like the Niners a lot this year. Oh, it was a monsoon. Okay. Shouldn't that make it easier for them? Because guess who can't fucking throw the ball? Justin Fields and company, because they have no wideouts.
Right, exactly.
I don't know.
I mean, this... like I said, this was hard for me, but I got to go Packers just because Tampa Bay is missing a lot of
pieces, and
man.
Leonard Fournette is questionable too.
He is, yeah.
So
And I'm still not set on the offensive line of the Bucs.
Like if this supposed great Green Bay defense puts any sort of pressure up the middle on him, it's over. It's over for him,
Yeah.
and especially you're getting a guy like Cole Beasley. I don't think he's gonna play that many snaps. Julio Jones could be out in the first quarter with a hamstring injury.
Right.
It's going to be up to Scotty Miller and, Kyle Rudolph, Cameron Brate, those kind of guys. And I just don't believe in it. So, for me, it's probably a fade betting-wise. But, yeah, I lean Green Bay pretty slightly.
What was your line on that?
I've seen it went down to 1.5, so
okay.
Yeah, I'd probably just take money line, honestly, at that point.
Pick'em's basically for you.
Exactly, it's a pick'em for me.
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay, and I got them it was at 1.5.
Yeah, So we're right there. We've pretty much been right there with each other the whole program. 4 more games to go here. We are going to a couple of these games are going to be brief. I'm going to rant about Denver in a minute, but the Rams in Arizona, line opened at 4. It's at 3.5. Arizona came with a miraculous performance last week, man. That was incredible. I was thinking that's an L for me the whole day. I was 20-0. Vegas did it. Okay. And then it's the last game I'm watching on the slate. It's almost 8 p.m. and I'm like, they're really about to do this.
Yeah, they did it.
And, they get that touchdown. I'm praying. I'm like, just miss the 2 points. Just miss the 2 points.
Right.
Cover. That's the bettors. Yeah, the bettors dilemma. I just like the Rams here. The Rams haven't covered yet this year.
They haven't, and that scares me, but I took the Rams too. I just think that, last week's game with Arizona was too emotional. Now they got to come back and play this is a division game too, right?
Yeah, this is big time game.
I don't know if they're going to be even killed for this game. And I just think that the Rams, they didn't cover last week.
Got killed against Buffalo.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on with the Rams. I just think that they're kind of dealing with certain things too. They have a different team too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the defense is about the same, but offensively it's a little different. So I'm just going to hope and pray that they can, and they play Arizona really well.
They do, yeah, and they both have pretty bad offensive lines this year.
Right.
So even for this game, I could almost say it's a pick 'em, but I lean LA just based on past history. Really, nothing else, and they're gonna cover a game at some point. I was with them week 1. I faded them week 2 for Atlanta. And I just think this is probably, if it's not this week, when is it going to be?
And I also think, the last thing I'll say is if Arizona had lost that game, this probably would be a 5, maybe 6 point spread.
Oh, definitely. And I think I would probably lean Arizona at that point. And even then,
you still would have to question it, right?
I would question it. This is one divisional matchups I tend to question a lot more, and I tend to kind of be weary of them.
Yeah, with this one though, man, I'm going Rams.
Yeah, me too. Let's go to probably my lock of the week. Actually, no, this isn't. I got another one that's my lock, but it's a primetime game, and I bet it, or will bet it. It's Atlanta, it's Seattle. Atlanta's getting 2 points on the road. I love Atlanta here. They got corners that can shut down Metcalf and Lockett. Their defensive line is actually playing a lot better than last year in terms of rushing the passer. And I can just see them mucking it up for this team. The Seattle team is not good. They played good week 1. They scraped by a W. And last week, they were pretty bad against San Francisco. I just think the trend continues. Atlanta will get that win. There's no way I can see Seattle starting 2-1. I just can't see it. Can you explain if you believe that?
Man, I'm gonna have to go Atlanta too. I think Atlanta is they're not a good team, but they're really scrappy. They're gonna play hard. Seattle sucks.
I think without Adams gone for the year too. The secondary's now weaker.
Big loss. big loss.
I just think they are definitely one of the weakest rosters in the league, right there with the Bears and Houston. I can just see them losing a lot of games. Atlanta is better than people really give them credit for, and
They are.
And I'm an Atlanta hater per se, because they burned me a lot. They've burned me a lot in my lifetime, but I gotta ride with Mariota over Geno, I guess. Like, it's a real shit fest, and I might bet this game. And I would rather just take the team I believe is truly better.
I'm going ATL.
Yeah.
Also.
So yeah, we're pretty much we're right. Pretty much gonna end this show just all with the same picks, so that's fun. We got San Francisco, Denver in the night game. As you can see up here, I just really believe Russ needs to cook in the red zone. I understand the need for running in the red zone, switching it up, but these guys have been terrible in the red zone to start the year. They haven't completed a touchdown pass. They rank basically dead last in scoring in that, category. I just think it's a big trap because I believe a lot of people now seeing Jimmy G play and they're like, oh, we're back. It's different in Denver too, man. The altitude's different.
It is.
It's a little harder to breathe up there. These guys are going to pace you. Denver has not played well, but I just don't understand why they're a dog at home.
I'm going San Fran.
Oh, nice.
Now
you're questioning it, yeah.
Yeah, I initially chose Denver because of what you said. It's going to be hard to play in Denver.
Yeah.
And Denver, they need to play better, and they know they have to play better.
They need to coach better.
Yes,
they need to coach.
and that's why
Nathaniel
I'm taking San
Hackett.
Fran.
Yeah, like, you got one coach who's really good. Shanahan's good. What the fuck is Hackett doing, man? Like, that's 2 weeks in a row. He's made some real fucking piss poor decisions. There was a fucking 4th and 7 they went for it on and didn't even come close. And then they get a delay of game when they should be kicking a fucking field goal.
He's showing his true colors, and I think Russell is probably losing confidence in him, and I think that's affecting Russell's game as well, and the fact that the offense just is not.
They haven't clicked yet. I hope Judy is questionable. I think he plays. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
But you gotta let this guy Russ cook, man. I understand. Like,
and I'm gonna be honest with you, Garoppolo has been there, as opposed to the young guy Trey.
Yeah.
So and he kind of knows the system. So I got to go with San Fran on this one.
It's fair,
and I might change this, by Sunday. But right now, I'm going San Fran.
Yeah, and that's fair to believe that. I just maybe it's the Madden thing. Every time I play it, that's my team in Madden. I hate Denver too. Like, I hate their roster. I hate fucking John Elway. Like.
Oh, you're an Elway hater? What?
I hate Elway. I hate Peyton Manning.
Oh wow.
I'm big time hater.
Well, listen, while we're talking about this, and this is going to be real brief, Elway to me is in my top 5 of all time quarterbacks.
That's fine. That's fine.
I think he could do everything out there.
Yeah.
Even when it wasn't fashionable to do certain things back then.
Oh, he was bombing that shit to Shannon Sharp.
He was throwing it, I mean, the guy was everything. He just, he started winning at the tail end of his career.
Yeah, he won. Yeah, basically he was in his 40s. Shit.
Right, exactly.
Still, still a winner though.
He's a winner.
But
that has nothing to do with this game.
No, obviously not. But you know what? No, I'm a big time hater. That's fine.
And Peyton, oh my god,
I hate Peyton Manning too. Yeah, the whole Tennessee thing. Ugh, what a weirdo. I do like the Manning cast. I'm not saying that I don't like watching that, but I still hate because I was always a Tom Brady guy. Now, obviously, I'm not a Tom Brady guy no more either.
Okay.
But when it was the heyday of 2004 to 2008, it was Brady basically versus Manning.
It was.
And Manning was winning all those MVPs, but I was just nah, Tom Brady and the Patriots are just a better team. And,
we saw the matchups, man, and when we saw what Brady did to the Colts.
Yeah, and I believe that Peyton Manning was a better QB than Tom Brady in his career, but this is a team game.
It's a team game,
and I was a big time Patriots guy for a long time because every time I watch football, I'm just like, dude, this is the best fucking team to exist. Why are we playing?
Well, I think Brady's a better leader than Peyton.
Yeah,
I think he can lead a team better.
Definitely agree there. But let's move it to Monday night and recap and get the fuck on with our lives. It is my Another game, I love the primetime games. I'm actually going to bet all of these this week. Like with Cleveland, I'm betting Denver, and I absolutely love the Giants -1. It sounds so stupid. I know a ton of money is going to Dallas. I wasn't even concerned about that. They opened at fucking 2.5. This is also their home opener, right?
Yes, I believe it is.
Another
no.
home
Weren't they at home first game? Was that a?
Who'd they play first game?
Gosh,
They won that game. I know
They
that.
won the
No, they
game.
were on the road against Tennessee.
it was Tennessee. Oh
Yeah,
my
they were on the road
gosh.
against Tennessee.
Tennessee again.
Maybe they were at home this. Yeah, they were at home this week, I believe, against Carolina. So it's their second. It's a
Okay.
back-to-back at home, but without Dak there, I think people are starting to think like Cooper Rush prime time and just go bet Dallas. You're paying the Dallas tax because this game really should be. Dallas should be a 5 or 6 point dog, in my opinion.
Yeah, this line kind of scares me, but again, they're still going by probably what's going on from last year with the Giants too. I think a little bit.
They're a trash team. I think they're
Yeah.
gonna be 3-0, and everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck? Why is this team 3-0?" I don't think they're that good on paper. Dabble has been, working his magic in ways he can. They literally have one play. Like they have one play. It's
Wow.
pretty ridiculous, but it seems to be working for them. And they got away with that win in Tennessee. They got away with one there.
Yeah.
And even last week against Carolina, that was ugly fucking game to watch. A lot of field goals. But yeah, I'm good with a lot of Monday night disappointment. A lot of Dallas fans are going to be upset. Mm-hmm. And I love drinking their tears.
I'm going to Giants too. I
Yeah,
think
that's-
the Giants are at home. I think this is a division game, by the way, too.
Yeah.
And I think Rush is going to be a second string quarterback and play like one on the road.
It's going to show eventually. It has
Yes.
to. Like, I won't even call last week fluky because that defense played fucking marvelous.
That's
And-
what scares me about this game.
And that scoring on that first drive for Dallas really meant a lot. It really, changed the momentum of the game and put them in a position where they could take a little more conservative approach and take calculated shots when they had to.
Right. I agree with you. And then the drive to get that field goal at the end of the game. That was a nice drive too. I mean, they got some things going on a little bit, and their defense is spectacular. Well, not spectacular, but it's really
good.
solid.
Yeah,
it's really good.
But I just once again coaching matters too, and
Coaching
they
matters.
might have the dumbest coach besides Hackett.
Yeah, I thought that was the dumbest hire. Also, why would you get this guy?
And then Kellen Moore. Yeah, Kellen Moore is their offensive
I don't
coordinator.
understand, man, what's going on with Dallas' ownership?
It's really wacky, but
Jones is something else.
I believe in Dabble. I believe in the Giants. This week, anyway.
You think Barkley has made a comeback?
A
from
slight
his,
one, yeah. I believe
yeah.
he's made a slight comeback. Kenny Galladay's a corpse. He's the highest paid player on that team, and he's barely seen the field. He's a walking fucking corpse.
He is. I don't, and we saw that with the Lions a little bit.
Yeah.
I like him as a talent. I think he has all the talent in the world, but he can't stay healthy.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he was baby Megatron at one point.
Right,
That was his label, and not even see the field is kind of sad. I know the injuries amounted, surmounted, and he's just not that guy anymore. And I think
He's not.
They're probably going to pay off his contract or something like that, and just
get him
let
gone. Get him
yeah.
gone.
Because my guy Richie James is wide receiver 1 out there right now, and that's marvelous because Kadarius Toney's in the doghouse, as they say.
Right. Yes, he is.
So yeah,
It's Giants or bust for
yeah.
me.
So we'll basically wrap it up here. We went through all the games again. Not as much stats. The eye test. It's a little more about feel these next couple weeks because we now know the information from what we watch. Like that's where I'm getting most of these picks from, and most of my other picks are basically like, is the book trying to pull a fast one on me? And there's usually 4 or 5 of those lines I'm really like, yeah, they are. But for this week, my primetime games are, Cleveland 4.5, Denver 1.5, Giants 1. And I think my lock of the week, I'm just going to blindly bet Buffalo. I see no reason why not. And if it isn't them, it's probably Cincinnati. So
That was going to be one of my
So
other
I'm gonna lock
maybe
Buffalo for
perhaps
me.
locks is Cincy at 4.5. I thought about Buffalo. I'm gonna lay off of that as a lock, but I do believe that they're gonna win
yeah, I think they're gonna win heavily.
too. You know, but that's my lock for now. I'm probably gonna have one or two more. So be looking for my tweets.
Yeah.
South Bend Savage.
That's right. That's right.
And again, my number one lock is the under 40 and a half Chicago Bears Houston Texans.
I like it, man. I like it.
Hey.
But yeah, we'll definitely we'll try and improve next week. But I gave you winners this week. Dre gave you winners too. He's back at 500. Check this man out, man. We're back.
We are back.
We do this shit for a reason. I hope everyone enjoys the show. Once again, like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with whoever. I got to share this more to myself. I've been very piss poor in that, and I will also try and get this on Apple Podcasts by week 5. I've been just dick in my hand, but I'll leave it at that with my dick in my hand.
Hey, we do have lives, but we won't fumble that bag though.
We ain't fumbling it. I mean, I did. Yeah, we won't. Yeah, till next time, friends. All right, man.